Masters of the Obvious intro. Hello and welcome to the Masters of the Obvious. I am Isaac Rodriguez, your host and the creator of the Double Eagle process. This is the place where we talk about things that are obvious to us, but not necessarily obvious to everyone else. Like, for example, the building that I grew up in was owned by my great-grandmother, and she left it to her 14 children. And many years later, when I came along, you can imagine in terms of ownership, it became quite a mess. And my guest today knows all about generational wealth with respect to real estate and some of the things that are not so obvious in that world. Rob Rosenberg, true New York City kid, president, CEO, NYCK Advisors. Tell me about it.
Isaac, thanks for having me back. First time was a blast. So yeah, generational wealth with real estate, especially right now, a lot of small family offices and a lot of real estate investors are looking at this. And, one of the things that we came across personally over the past couple of years when looking at this property, especially from a generational wealth standpoint, was, how are you planning to hand this property down? When my grandfather did this, he looked at his daughters. He had two of them. What he wasn't planning on was that one daughter my aunt would have 3 children while my mom would only have 2. So when thinking about generational wealth, are you going to plan for the immediate next generation or are you going to plan into the future? That's something to take into consideration, and it could create problems down the road if not handled properly at the beginning.
So true. It doesn't get any more obvious than that. Thanks so much for joining us today. Robert, we want to know more about generational wealth and all things real estate. Where can we find you?
Look forward to hearing from you, NYCK Advisors, on Instagram or on the web.
Thanks again. Here's the outro. Masters of the Obvious outro.